Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
This here is a true story about crossing the pond at night in the world's smallest cockpit, on the tanker, through the weather. Oh, and to the tanker crew who did that, thanks a lot. We really appreciated that. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Well, there I was, crossing the pond, and you could see that I wasn't exactly fine.
So there I was. It was 1 a.m. I was 8 time zones away from home, 4 cups of coffee in me. We're on a takeoff roll in a C-141 maxed out at 325,000 pounds. We had just passed go speed when our possessed plane lurched violently. It was as if some unseen force was tugging back on it. Stuff in the cockpit tumbled. Our engineer, Steve, yelled, "What the f-?" Too fast to stop on the remaining runway, and now questionable if we'd be able to make flying speed. I gripped the yoke, announced continuing, and thought to myself, we're going flying with the devil. Again.
Again?
Oh, boy.
Not cool.
Yep. There's a bit of a backstory there. There's a backstory to this one.
Oh, holy fecal matter. Greetings, everybody. Repeat here, coming to you from New Hampshire tonight. So thrilled to be here with my co-host, Fig. Where art thou?
Listen, blessed to be here, as you probably all know, and I am at home still. I have surgery scheduled for dark 30 in the morning on this eye right here. So we're hoping for big things. But I'm at home in Kearney, Missouri, outside Kansas City, and it is my distinct and grateful pleasure to welcome Chill-Rob, and that's a story that makes your palms sweat.
It is indeed. And here's one quick thing about Chill-Rob. Dude wrote a book, Flight Path, an Irreverent Aviation Tale. We're going to talk more about that when we get down to it. But I'm thinking you didn't start off your aviation career pushing up the throttles on a C-141 and dancing with the devil, as it were. When did you first look skyward and go, I want to do that?
You know, my brother said, ever since I could walk, I wanted to fly. He said that about me. But I never thought it was possible until I, financially and a lot of other ways, until I figured out I could, if I got a college degree and then I could get into OTS and then get my pilot slot, it can happen. And it did, thankfully, because I had a lot of, you talk about chain of events. I had a lot of lucky chain of events that got me where I am.
Fantastic.
As we all did, it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
So OTS. So you didn't do ROTC?
No, sir. I always validating the left side of the bell curve. I realized I wasn't a candidate for any scholarships, and I was paying for everything myself. So I was always working during college, 2 jobs during summer. So ROTC wasn't really in that money making scheme. So yeah.
All right. What part of the world did you grow up in?
Staten Island, New York.
I was picking up on an accent, wasn't sure where. Had to ask.
It comes out under stress, a couple of beers, or if you cut me off in traffic. So that's when the accent comes out.
There you go.
So
well, that's fantastic.
Staten Island makes it to officer training school in the Air Force. That's pretty damn awesome.
And I got to tell you, the other thing that's pretty damn awesome is it usually takes a few more minutes than 2 or 3 into the show to get a title, but we're already competing with validating the left side of the bell curve.
Okay, there you go.
I love it.
We're flying with the devil again.
Yeah, exactly. I like that even better. So yeah, that's in the first 45 seconds. So fantastic. Oh man. So, all right. Well, I think in reading some of the background there, you talked about officer training school, and you managed you validated the left side of the bell curve there too, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did.
Let's hear it, man.
Okay. Well, no sense of rhythm. So, no chance for getting ladies on the dance floor. That's for sure. It's a public safety issue when I'm out there. So they kind of quarantine me off. But little did I know that lack of rhythm would cause me to be a miserable marcher. And I just couldn't keep, it's time steps and cadence and stuff like that. And I would just bounce off people and bomb burst the whole formation. And I called the marching formation the first time I almost failed out of OTS. So, but luckily I squeaked through.
Nice.
Well, we're glad you did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where was that? Was that at Randolph?
Yes, it was Lackland. It was Lackland. It was Lackland. There was an annex. There was a small, Lackland's huge for the E's, and then the O's had this small annex. And they've since moved it, I think, to Maxwell. I'm not sure.
What year was that you did OTS there, Chill-Rob?
Oh, I graduated December 88, 12-week wonder.
Well, nice.
Yep.
Fantastic. Yeah. Butter bar.
Yep.
So I think my dad did Lackland, but a few years before you. I think he was in 45 because
okay.
Or 44 because they took his entire class of flight school and said, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Once the war was over, they couldn't get rid of guys fast enough. So, yeah.
Hey, what was the makeup? How many people in your class at OTS?
Ooh, I think there were
ballpark.
I think there were 15 to a flight, about maybe let's say 20 to a flight, 2 flights to a squadron, 3 squadrons. So do the math. 40 about 120, I think. Yeah.
All right. Okay. That seems pretty small.
Yeah, it was.
For a big service.
And I got in on the tail end of the Reagan buildup. A year later, it's like, you had to be an Uberman to get in because they shut the doors, just like happened to your dad.
And did you have a flight slot at OTS, or was that after?
No, the way they did it then was, you have a pilot slot waiting for you if you finish OTS.
Okay.
That's how I entered OTS.
Okay.
All right. Well, were you an engineering major by chance?
Yeah, aerospace engineering tech. It wasn't a full up engineering degree. It was, for guys who use crayons, not very well.
It was good enough. See, you and I are about the same time frame.
Yeah.
I went to officer candidate school between my junior and senior year for the Marine Corps, and that would have been in the summer of '86. I graduated in '87, went right on active duty. But I went to a college that had an aviation program, and this Air Force colonel came down and took a bunch of us aviation students out to dinner to give us the spiel on OTS, and we're all pilots. We're training to be pilots. We're all working on our ratings, and somebody says, "So, how many pilot slots are there?" And he goes, "Well, there's none for you, but we'd like to send you to OTS." So I'm like, "Wait a minute, you're sitting with a room full of pilots." So there was none of that. And of course, I wasn't an engineering major. I was an aviation technology major.
Me
that's
too.
What he said, well, you guys aren't engineers. You need to be an engineer to get a pilot slot. I'm like, okay. Thanks for the steak.
Yeah, right. Oh man, that's funny.
So obviously, you guys, you were much smarter.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, I got to say, I got a very technical degree. It was called a Bachelor of Arts in History. So
nice.
That was the beauty of the Marine Corps. Yeah, you just have to be able to prove you can graduate college and get your flight contract, and that was good to go. That's all I needed. And I gotta say, I do think that they have left a lot of good people on the sidelines by requiring highly technical degrees and all that kind of stuff, because there are a lot of us liberal arts people that I thought I did okay. I love the airplane. I love flying. I didn't need to know how many Bernoullis were the square root of pi passing over my wingtip vortices.
What the hell's it?
Didn't matter.
What was that term you said?
Exactly. Bernoullis, pi, square pies. No, pies are round.
Well, all right, Chill-Rob, you you squeak through OTS. And
Yes,
then,
sir.
Off to undergraduate pilot training.
Correct.
UPT,
Correct.
which was where for you?
Columbus, Mississippi,
Ah, all right.
just north of Meridian.
Time in
You guys are
Mississippi.
familiar, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was a Meridian.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that. I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my oldest son was born in there. He's a Meridian by birth.
Oh my gosh.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So what'd you fly in flight school? What they
Back
throw
then
you
it was the T-37 for the basic, and then T-38 for advanced. And
you started in jets.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
No
sir.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There was it. They called it the tweet. Was it
Look at
the
that good-looking guy.
6,000 pound dog whistle? So
Dog whistle. That's
yeah.
right. And there's actually an A-37. Some
Oh,
South
God.
American countries, they threw a couple bomb racks on that damn thing and gave them to some South American countries, and it was the A-37. So
I heard it was really good. Did really well.
Yeah.
it could drop 3 25-pounders at a time.
I'm sorry. I'm comparing notes with the wrong people here. I'm a turd hauler. I have no perspective.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, any good?
Got to be some good stories from.
Well, yeah, T-37. Everybody's got a good T-37 story.
Oh yeah.
Right. Wait.
Well,
before you go there, did you have any flying experience at all before you started flight training?
What I did was, like I said, I was paying for everything myself, so I ran myself broke 3 times to get my private pilot license before I put in my application with the Air Force, because having that block checked, that would get you up there to get the pilot slot. So before I put in my application, I got my private pilots, but I got it over 3.5 years and it was inconsistent. So I considered myself pretty cold when I showed up.
Okay, but you had flown an airplane before. You knew what trim was and all that. So
yes.
Yeah.
The poor guys. We had a program where you could enter without any flying experience, and they'd send you to a place called Hondo, and that was just to weed people out. It was to get you to solo in a 172. It was just one more chance to screw up as far as I was concerned. So I was glad I bypassed that.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
Oh.
So any near death defying or hyperventilating?
Oh well,
or practical jokes.
Well, embarrassing, and I didn't almost kill myself, but what was it? We just had a reunion, class 8904. We just had it just last May. About 13 of us showed up. About 26 who graduated. So it was great. And of course, the stories go around, and I was the one who got lost at the entry pattern with my gear down, circling around as a solo, and everybody remembered that. They can't, probably don't remember my first name, but they remember I was the one circling around, lost. So, but it was great. It was so good to see everybody. But there is a good story, because we used to, spin the T-37, to get you, used to unusual attitudes and things like that, recovering the airplane. And so some people didn't enjoy spinning, and we had a guest helper, someone who didn't work in the squadron, did stuff on the side and came in and occasionally flew. So they paired him up with someone they thought was a strong student, and he hated spinning. Goes out there, student put him in an inverted spin, and he was pasty white when he walked in the flight room. So, but other T-37 stories, I'm trying to think. Yeah, nothing really. Just nothing really. The
That's
T-38
good.
was the one that would.
That is good.
Yeah. The T-38 was the one that would bite you. That a colonel said, the T-37s, it's like your mother. You could mess with her, she'll take care of you. She's got that big Hershey bar wing. With a T-38, you mess with her, she's like your wife. You're gonna hear it. She's gonna get back at you. So
she'll cut things off of you.
Oh yeah, she'll shank you in a heartbeat.
Oh man,
yeah. But 38 was great.
Fast sitting on the ramp, just sitting there on the ramp looks like it's doing 600 knots.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, you cruise around at 300 knots just for controllability. And you landed it, and it's kind of funny. It's close to the 737 landing speeds. Yeah, you landed at about 155 plus, fuel 1 knot for each 100 knots, so 100 pounds, over 1,000 pounds. So you're smoking in there. And yeah, it was just a blast to fly. It's like you're on the tip of a rocket. It felt like you're wearing the thing. You're just hanging up there, looking off both rails. I was so fortunate to have that experience for 2.5, 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
How thick is the wing on that thing? It can't be more than 6 inches thick.
Oh, I couldn't tell you, but it's definitely no tweet wing. That's for sure.
Yeah. Razor blade thin. So,
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. All right. Jeez. Any near death or how many students tried to kill you in the T-30?
Pretty much every one of them. So
were you a FAPE?
Yeah.
Did you get
Yes,
FAPE?
I was a FAPE, yes.
And a FAPE in T-38s?
Yes.
Okay, that's
assignment instructor pilot.
Yeah. Yes. T-38 FAPE, and then went on to 141s. Surgrad, I guess you guys call them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you'd be flying, a variant of, I don't know what you guys would call it. We call it close trail. You get basically about, 1,500 feet behind somebody, follow them through maneuvers, high G maneuvers and stuff like that, practicing cutoff and, lead and lag and stuff like that. Nothing compared to you guys. And also, some tactical stuff where you'd have to be, I think it was a half mile, quarter mile, I don't know how far out, but you're way up there and it's in the high altitude. So you'd have to practice your energy management and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, students always, you'd have to grab the stick a lot. One guy broke into me, you're in formation. You're supposed to break this way. He's like, son of a, that I have a friend.
When you're on his right wing. He's supposed to go left, not right.
Yeah. I had a friend, I'm not going to disclose his name, but he went in T-37s. He went out doing some, do some solo rides. He's doing some G's in the area, pulling some G's, doing some aerobatics. Wakes up screaming out of the bottom of the area. He had G-locked. So, but it was bottomed out at about 10. So he recovered, came back straight and level, did one landing. See you guys. So, and he got a fighter. He got a fighter. He did great.
Okay. Yeah. I G-locked once. And for the first time to that, the term is G-induced loss of consciousness, GLOC. You pull all the blood out of your head when you pull too hard, and then your brain goes, night, night. I'll wait. You can wake up when I have blood and oxygen back.
Mm-hmm. And you wake up real sharp right away, right? Real sharp.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, the time it happened to me, I was aware of everything that was going on around me within a few seconds, but I bet it took me 45 minutes to recage my gyros, as we put it, to finally go, what's what? It's like, holy shit. Yeah. That was an experience that if I never had it happen again, it would have been too soon. So,
right.
Yeah. Did you guys do the centrifuge training?
Oh, we did.
Ooh, we did.
We did. Fig and I went together up to.
We volunteered to do it.
I know. Was that Willow Grove? Where did we go for that?
Well, yeah, it was up there, somewhere near Willow Grove.
Oh, the other one near Philadelphia. It wasn't Willow Grove. It was. Yeah, we'll think of it. Yeah. And I remember Fig out there doing push-ups and clapping in between push-ups and all that shit before he jumps in. Yeah, baby, I'm going. And they were pissed at me because I kept hitting the button. The whole world would come in around me, and I was down to looking through the straw as my vision was going, and I went, I don't need to lose it. And I'd hit the button so it would stop. And they're like, you can go a little further. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't need to. I know where I'm at. I'm good. I lost consciousness once in a real airplane. I don't need to do it again. I know I can.
Oh, man. Jeez.
Well, what he's not telling you, Chill-Rob, is we all went to Mexican the night before and had so everybody in the centrifuge was shitting all over.
Warminster.
Yes. And so when you got in there, the guy strapping us in, he said, "What did you guys eat last night? It smells like shit in here."
Very nice. Did you? Was that an intentional thing you did for that? Was that a setup? Just lucky.
We like, hey, what do you guys? Let's go get chimichangas. Yeah,
that's right.
It could have been worse.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
No sugar.
Tried not to, but yeah.
No, hey, how many hours did you get in the T-38, Chill-Rob? Because you probably got a bunch.
I only got about 1,000 because you're doing 1.1, 1.2, even doing 2 or 3, and I was 2.5 years or so. So I mean,
that's good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I went back on my logbook. I'm like, wow, I thought I had a lot more than that, but that's a lot of flying, no autopilot,
In and out, up and down that ladder. Yep.
Yep. In and out of the weather on someone's wing.
Ins and outs.
Yeah.
Did you ever tickle the handle?
No, God, no. Thankfully, no. So
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I never had the reason to even think of it, thankfully. So, but
okay, good.
But all that instructing stuff it was incredibly rewarding. Just a bunch of motivated dudes helping them out, dudes and dudettes helping them out. It was a great time. So, and just flying just a gorgeous airplane, and they're paying me to be upside down on someone, doing all this stuff.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. How much more did you know about flying that thing by the time you were done teaching it, as to oppose when you started teaching it, thinking you knew, I'm an instructor now. I can teach all of this. I'm amazed at how much more I knew about the Harrier after having flown it in a gun squadron, and then I went and taught it, and I went, oh man, this is
because you see the other side of it. You see what other people are doing, and you get into situations you never thought of. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what was did you ever, so we had above average, average, below average, and unsat. Those are the grades you could get on any flight. What did you guys have? And did you ever unsat anybody?
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of guys in the Navy, and unsatting in the Navy was like a big thing. It didn't happen much. In the Air Force, it could happen a lot. Everyone did it. If you kept on doing it, you were in trouble, but everybody could get an unsat here or there. But we had excellent, good, fair, and unsat.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you get, 3 unsats in any phase, and you were done, right, Fig?
If you were a white male, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any phase, I mean T2s, not FAMs and T2s or instruments and T2s. You got 3 unsats in the T2, you were done.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, which would suck. So, all right. So it came time to choose. You went to the Starlifter.
Yes, sir.
How'd you come to that? How'd you come to that decision? Because as a FAPE, I would imagine you probably had the world was your tomato.
No, it was kind of different. Surgrads, that you had a pretty good choice of assignments. For FAPEs, you kind of get the leftovers because here's the deal. You're that's true. They may have changed it, but there are plenty of guys who hung out for 5 years for their fighter and got a big plane to a cold place. But because, the Air Force kind of was like, here's the deal. This captain who's kind of senior shows up in an MWS and he's got no experience and he's competing against these other guys who have been doing this since second lieutenant. So it's kind of a hard adjustment or rank wise and all these other things. So yeah, we didn't do so great on the assignments, but I lucked out in that respect because here's the deal. I got a buddy wing ride where I was able to fly in the backseat of a F-15 down at Tyndall in their training squadron. And during that, the OPSO calls me and says, hey, Kevin, we just got a 141 on base. We got to fill it by the end of the day because it was a 7-day opt and you had to fill the training slot within 30 days of showing up. It was one of the regs or something like that. And that was the day. They went to 2 or 3 guys ahead of me in the squadron. They said, no. I said, hell yeah, I'll take that. A 141 to McCord, to the Seattle area. That was great. Then I went out and flew in the back seat of a F-15. And I was talking about my big Irish head. And, you guys are pulling all these G's. I'm trying to watch and all of a sudden, and that was it. That was it for that leg. I couldn't put my head up and I'm thinking, man, this is glamorous. I'm over the Gulf of Mexico, in a T-50 F-15 and I guess my boots need shining, It's like, but it was a great experience. I was lucky to ever get in one of those.
Nice.
Well, and so right from the T-38 to the RTU for the C-141, there was no intermediate, like off centerline multi-engine training, straight into the Starlifter.
Correct. Straight in. Go to Altus by the Sea, Altus, Oklahoma.
All right.
And and from what was it, 12? It's about 12,000. Yeah, 12,000 for the T-38 to 325,000 takeoff for the 141.
Right. I remember that when I first went to my airline, I got DC-10s right out of training.
Whoa.
And more weight in fuel in the right wing of a DC-10 than a Harrier, fully loaded with every bomb, every drop tank, every piece of lead it could carry. It was 40,000 pounds of gas in one wing.
Man.
And a Harrier, I think, was 36 or 37,000 pounds max takeoff.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a complete paradigm shift. Right. I mean, because you probably, I don't know, did you guys do V1 and V2 and all that stuff in the T-38? Because we didn't do that in the Harrier.
Oh, jeez.
You know, we had 300 feet. You pulled the nozzles in and went flying.
We did have a we had a no-go speed, and we had a single engine takeoff speed. So here, it was, if you're beyond your no-go speed, you accelerate to single engine takeoff speed and take off, because that's your minimum control and all that stuff like that. But I think we only had 2 speeds. I'm sorry, I can't remember that exactly.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, it's not like you've slept a couple nights since then, so we'll let that slide.
Thank you.
Thank you. Once, right?
You're not going to unsat me?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We got a lot more questions to ask.
All right.
Yeah, we do. I just remember thinking, for the first few times I was flying in that big airplane, going, holy shit, we're in kind of a death zone here. This, you're between, you can't reject and you can't fly, but you're going flying.
Yeah, you're committed.
Yeah, you're 100% committed. You're just in a whistling shit can that hope keeps working.
So from the T-38 to a giant 4-engine transport, what was your biggest, oh my gosh, moment?
Just the lag of it, the lag in the controls, you go. And you're like, okay, 1 potato, 2 potato, and then she finally decides, I guess I'll go over here. So everyone gets into the PIO, initially. What else?
I totally understand that.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Everything else was just basic flying stuff. Yeah, it was a good, honest plane. It flew like a tweet. It had the big wings and all that stuff. So there was familiarity there. So.
How reliable were the motors? I mean, you had 4 of them.
So. Yeah, they were very reliable. Very reliable. I never lost an engine, except I did have one.
They're all right there on the wing.
Yeah, I did have 2 compressor stall. What happened was we were having some problem with fuel, and they're having contamination in the fuel tanks, and we were told to slow down. So put it in. Engines come back. A boom, boom. 2 compressor stalled. Recovered, no problem. But she was an honest plane. She did everything you asked her, and if she didn't, we had some insanely great engineers who just had a miracle in their bag, or would kick it or find a circuit breaker and keep her going.
That was that Lockheed product?
Yep, Lockheed.
And you had a flight engineer that kind of sat right behind the pilots, right behind the center console, or was he over on this?
Yeah, he was. It's on the 130. They sit behind you in the center console, or used to. The 141, he's sitting behind the first officer, facing the side. Facing
kind of like 727
the fuselage.
Engineer.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you had 2 engineers, and you usually had at least 1 loadmaster.
Okay. So a crew of 5.
Minimum of 5. Depending on the day, you'd have 2 loadmasters because they'd have to spell each other out. So okay. And he could usually carried a lot of extra bodies for currency and other things like that, and especially during the how the flying's always cyclical. You'd pack everybody on and they get their leg, and so it was just ran like that.
Okay. Did you get to the C-141 and get to fly it during the first Gulf War?
No. I got there in 92. So I missed Gulf 1 and I missed Gulf 2.
Okay.
Well, you're in good company.
So did we.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we watched Gulf 1 on CNN.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from the ready room.
Yeah.
And Gulf 2 from the flight operations at my airline. So.
Well, I actually got to fly C-130s in that little.
Oh, you did.
But yeah. But not the big one. Not the big one. WW Gulf War 1.
Right on. Yeah. So we called it. So I always used to laugh at the BAE 141 looked like a
like a miniature
C-141. Yeah, I used to call it the Comet Lifter or something like that. Yeah, so you had the Starlifter and the Comet Lifter. So, but it looks just the same. But that wasn't a lock. I was just looking at BAE, obviously British Aerospace. It was not a. But it looks like they stole the plans and ran them through the washing machine and they shrank.
Yep.
So interesting. All right. So, but you went to the dark side, Chill-Rob.
What's that?
In 141s. You were what do you call it? A standards check airman? Hang on for.
Evaluator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Against my wishes. Against my wishes. But you know what? I was at that point in my career where I was very lucky. I had great commanders and OPSOs who took care of me. I think I like to think I hustled enough to deserve that. But, it was at the point when your career was like, okay, you can go to the wing, and it's like your flying dries up. Flying is a nuisance after that. And that was one of the jobs that could keep me in the squadron and keep flying. So I was like, okay, let's do this.
Okay. What was it? What was that like, though? Was it fun? Did it suck? Did guys go, oh, crap?
No, it was good. It was kind of it was a big boy program.
Okay.
And
gentleman's program.
Program. So you take people out on check rides, make sure they know how to get around the system. It's not just flying the plane. It's knowing how to, even back then, communications were certainly not what they are today. So just figuring out how to get from one place to another and keeping in touch with changes and things like that and different operating fields.
Yeah, it's true. You can't go VFR direct across the Atlantic without.
Nope. But the thing that blew one guy's mind, I'm having an evaluation, is that we were, what was it, probably in 95 or so. We're flying off the west coast of Africa, resupplying some special ops guys, and we're flying in and out of these little fields. With guy comes out in not a lot of teeth and a big AK-47 and asks for his landing fee. So I was like, oh, okay, here's your landing fee. And we have a lady from finance with a money belt with $20,000 on it. On her, so it's like, ugh. And I got a pistol I'm supposed to protect. That wasn't a good setup. But leaving there, going up and down the west coast of Africa, it's like the FO blew his mind. It's like, what, we're going to file? It's like, listen, there's nothing to file. We go out to the ocean, we turn right, then we start talking to somebody. That's flying. That's the common sense of it.
Yeah,
it's like the Wild West almost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, we had, I forget his name. I think it was Terry. He was a ferry pilot. And he went across a couple countries in Central Africa at 200 feet or less. So he said, he ran into some people the night before, and they said, dude, you can try filing and try going, but you're not going to make it. They're going to land you, and they're going to take your airplane, and they're going to hold you until your company pays you to get you out. Or you can fly at 100 feet, and no one will bother you. So yeah, it's Wild West over there. No doubt about it. Man. All right. Gee, man, what a great career, though.
How many hours in the C1 in the C-141?
It's even more shocking. I was looking at that. I've only have about 1,700 hours in that. Part of that is that it was.
If you only flew it 4 times, what?
Yeah, that's right. It was the insanely cyclical nature of it back then. It was up or down. It was, Saddam was messing around, so everybody fly like crazy. Then all of a sudden you wouldn't fly for literally 3 months. You'd fly a local. And part of that, my wife was having some issues, so my OPSO kept me home, and I was instructing more, so more shorter, things like that. Yeah, but I was shocked at how little. I only had 1,700 hours, where the guys in Gulf 1, that's 2 months probably.
Crazy. All right. Well, you got to do some really cool stuff in that, though, from airdrop and air refueling and emergencies and that kind of good stuff. Now, just a quick time to say thank you to Derek over at DC Artworks, and then we'll chat about some of your emergencies and some of the cool stuff you got to do.
Sounds good.
So there I was, looking at a wall that had exactly 0 personality. Bare. The kind of wall that makes a debrief feel like a DMV waiting room. And that right there is the exact problem that DC Artworks solved for me. which is why today's episode is brought to you by DCArtworks.net. Here's the setup. DC Artworks is American-made, veteran-owned, and run by a guy named Derek Combs, who has built a business out of turning steel into statements. Not decor, not filler for an empty wall, statements. Every piece starts life as precision, laser-cut, hardened steel, tough enough to outlast the building it's hanging in, but light enough to mount without an engineering degree. Then Derek or his team hand-finish it. No shortcuts, no flimsy stamped metal, no bin of 5,000 identical copies. In fact, no two pieces that come off his bench are exactly alike. If you want the thing on your wall to actually mean something, this is the guy. Hear what I'm telling you? He's the guy. Go see him. And here's the number that matters. 95% of what DC Artworks produces is fully custom. Yeah, the design library on DCArtworks.net is stacked and updated constantly. But that's just the starting point, not the ceiling. Squadron logos, call signs, tail numbers, aviation art of every kind, business branding, shop signs, even metal business cards with your QR code laser etched right in. One-off gifts for that crew chief who's retiring, or a big statement piece for the wall behind your desk that finally says something about who you are. I've seen it firsthand. This set of naval aviator wings is 2 feet across, hanging in my ready room space, and people don't just glance at it. They stop. They ask who made it. That's the DC Artworks effect. Beyond wall art, Derek's shop does metal fabrication, powder coating, and multi-material engraving, the kind of depth and texture and color the photo on a website genuinely cannot capture. He's also a registered military GPC vendor, one of the lowest priced shops in the business, with bulk and repeat customer discounts built in. So if your unit, your squadron, or your hangar wants matching pieces, this is where that budget goes the furthest. Now, the part that's just for this crew here at So There I Was, and this is permanent, use the code STIW at checkout on DCArtworks.net and you get 20% off every order, forever. And it stacks. Even when another sale is already running, that code doesn't expire, doesn't get retired next month. It's yours forever. So here's the move. Tonight, after the show, go to DCArtworks.net, browse the gallery, then reach out to Derek and commission something that actually is yours. Your call sign, your squadron patch, your story in steel. Because once you see what's possible, that blank wall of yours has already made up its mind. DCArtworks.net, code STIW for 20% off. Forever. And thank you to Derek and DC Artworks for sponsoring this episode. All right, fantastic indeed. Thank you, Derek, for all you do for us. Real quickly, I want to backtrack just a little bit. Bago producing in the background tonight. Thank you, sir. Glad you're with us. And for those wanting an update, Bago is awaiting surgery on his knee because, he didn't want to do it in July or August or whatever, poor guy. Holy shit. But we got good news. It's benign, and so they're going to keep working on him and get him back in one piece. So we're glad you're here with us, Bago. Put 2 comments in. One was you could take off with one engine on the C-141, and the other one was we've got to explain PIO. I don't recall it. I knew what it meant, so it went right by me. But so if you could do those 2. Missing. It just says with one engine, or missing an engine. You can take off 3 engines. Yeah. Missing one engine. Yeah. You had 3 more.
Yes or no? Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a question? Yeah.
It's a question. Yeah.
we had a procedure we trained for in the sim to take off with 3 engines, just in case people are coming over the hill. So yes, you could take off with 3 engines.
Okay.
And PIO, pilot-induced oscillations, where you're counteracting with controls too late or too early. It's just counteracting where the plane's going, so you're constantly going back and forth.
You're like 180 out of the sine wave.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're yanging when you should be yanging.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The airplane is dynamically unstable, and you help make it more so. So, wow. Okay.
So the hey, God, is this thing working? I can't hear myself anymore. Can you guys hear me?
No, I can't either. I've lost my side tone as well. So let's just go with it because I see we're getting input because I hear you guys and I see input going into the show.
Something wrong. Something wrong.
Bang ding out.
We too low. So the C-141, you guys did air, land, and you would do air drops, right? And you would do personnel drops as well.
Correct. And we do air refueling to extend the range and all that stuff like that. So yeah.
You guys
could both give and take, right?
You could get air refueled.
We could get. We could not give. We did. Okay. We never passed gas. Oh. Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a receiver only. Yeah. Yeah, like us. Okay. Well, cool. So, having done a little bit of that same kind of mission, only in an uglier airplane. Were you ever involved in any troop drops when you get the loadmaster saying, we got a guy banging around on the side of the plane, he's stuck? No, nothing. You got any like equipment malfunctions when they're going out and they don't go, and you got parachutes out and nothing?
Well, yes. Luckily never had anybody have a problem going out, but we were on a low level in Hawaii and I was with Eric, and great guy, stoic, solid, just flies the plane. He's a rock. On a low level, doing CDS bundles, and so that's container delivery system. They're just these big giant bags, and what you do is you get the deck angle like this, and then they're kind of strapped so that they don't fall out, and then you kind of get rid of the strap and goose it, and they go boom, 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 boom. All these CDSs fall out. These big bags fall out.
Yeah.
Well,
so they weren't pulled out by drag or parachute or anything like that.
They rolled out by gravity.
I think I can't remember. I apologize again. I can't remember if there was a parachute. No. I doubt it was because
there's a parachute, but the parachute doesn't deploy until that bundle's out of the airplane.
Correct. Okay. I think it was just gravity, like you said.
Yeah, it's gravity. Okay. They set a deck angle, and then they cut the strap that's holding them all in, and they just slide out the back, basically.
Yeah. But in this process, cables, stuff like that, something like some type of cable got caught up in our elevator control cables in the roof. And we're low level flying around, and the loadmaster thought it would be a good idea to pull it down. So he's going.
He didn't. Oh.
Yeah. So on a low level, and I look over at Eric, and Eric goes like this. Are you what
are you doing?
Doing anything? What are you doing? I'm not doing nothing.
That shit.
I'm not doing nothing. We just look at each other, and then I guess maybe the other loadmaster decked that guy or something.
And the guy in the back's flying the fucking airplane.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
My God.
So I'm not sure if he logged those hours, but yeah. Oh my God, that was the first terrifying time I saw Eric break character, like his eyes boink. Not a good feeling at low altitude. Yeah. So that was one. But I mean, it was just insane to be, when you're in a formation, you're back here and you see all these guys falling out of the back, and they're just literally bouncing off the chutes of the guys ahead of them. And those guys are freaking heroes. They're going out. I think they said they, with all their gear, they're like 350 pounds, just humping out that door.
Terrifying.
And you could hear them. The thing is, like, you could hear them stomp, stomp, stomp. And then when you go out the back, the troop door, you'd see skids. It's like, what's that? Oh, that's a boot marks as some of them bounce off the side. It's like,
how about that?
God bless them. God bless them.
How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, red and black marks all down the side of the airplane, huh?
Yeah. No red ones, thankfully, but just,
good.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So always good stories from the loadmasters about those personnel drops. See, they always have funny stories, but somebody freezing in the doorway and the jump master kicking them in the ass or kicking them behind the knee to get them out the door.
That happened. I heard a story. I'm sorry. I heard a story about in Egypt, they were doing a joint exercise and their new Egyptian paratroopers, I'm not sure they had many planes to throw them out of over there. This was in the day, obviously. So there's, these guys are going out and they don't want to go out. So people are literally throwing them out and they're holding on to the lines as they go out. And the poor guys, eventually have to, the hands all bloody. They finally go out, and not a good scene in the back for that mission.
Oh, terrifying shit there.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man. All right. Well, how was refueling? Did you the T-38 didn't refuel airborne, right?
No, not at all.
So yeah, so 141 refueling. Although you guys just pulled up into position and they flew the probe into you, or did you have to get up to the probe? How
Correct.
did that work?
We just got into a contact position, which was
There's a good there's a picture right there.
Exactly. We just held a position.
Picture on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we just held a position and they plugged us in. We had to stay in that position. There was a box, I think it was 8 feet tall, 10 feet wide, something like that. And I forget, maybe 12 feet long. I have it in my book here. It escapes me now.
I can't believe you don't remember it. Were there second unsat of the night?
Were there markings underneath the tanker for you to line up on so you knew where you were kind of in the right spot?
Yeah, we had visual cues, but once you got in close, there are lights that showed you showed you fore aft and up down. So you correct to them. Left right is pretty obvious. So fore aft left and
nice.
Okay. Because that was one of the early I don't know what the word that I'm looking for is, but intimidating factors of doing aerial refueling is your entire time in flight school, you're trying not to hit the guy while you're in formation, and now all of a sudden you're trying to hit that thing.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, brother.
Oh, with the refueling with us, it's 2 big planes. You're coming in, and you got an air bow wave. The guys here, you hit them, they could feel the nose going up.
Oh, sure.
That's the aerodynamic forces going in. And I've heard, when they used to have the sextants, and they had a little round window where they could put the sextant up.
Yeah.
But you could also stick your head up there and look at the tail. They said, the tail would be going like this. So,
no.
So the solution to that was, don't look up there.
Don't look. That's right.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Well, I have to tell a story at RePete's expense, if you don't mind, Chill-Rob.
There it comes. Here it comes again. You've never told this before.
Whenever I think of aero refueling, because I was an eyewitness and I was so impressed, I feel like I need to share this with you and everybody that's listening, in case you haven't heard the story before. So one day, we were out doing aero refueling just for currency. And it was a RePete and I was in the whatever. I can't remember, high right, low left. I was waiting, or I'd already done it, and I'm watching RePete. And just to make the story short, somehow when he got out, to his defense, the probe, when we extended it, was basically 3 feet left of your head. You had to look left to see it, and so you had to kind of guess where the probe was as you were slipping it into the basket, and then you couldn't use the stick. You had to use rudder, because if you use the stick, it would make a big arc with that probe.
It would roll. It would go up and down. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So you had to use the rudder at the very end to make fine adjustments. So I'm watching RePete, and by the way, we're behind a C-130, and it's pretty slow anyway. And to even stay back there and have any control, you had to crack the nozzles to like 20 degrees and leave them there, and we had to put the flaps down a certain amount so we could still fly. So we're still flying slow, and it's a little sluggish. Well, at one point, while he's trying to get the probe in the basket, he's wound up getting the hose wrapped all the way around the cockpit and around his. And I'm thinking, and it happened so fast. It just happened really fast. And he did this kind of octaflugerone. Next thing you know, the hose was around the cockpit, and it was on the wrong side of the jet. And I'm like, oh, shit. This is bad.
Class A mishap. I don't have to investigate because I'm watching.
I'm watching this horrible thing about to happen, and I don't know how he did it, but he did like this octaflugerone where he like wiped the stick, and the whole airplane went like this, and he just came unwound, and it was perfect. The probe was still there. He didn't break the probe off. And, the basket just kind of went stopped, and I was like, "How the hell did you just do that?" So it's the most
fortunately I was taking Ambien, so I don't remember any of it.
I'm sure the loadmaster was in the back watching and giving the pilots a play-by-play, like, well, there goes the hose. I'm pretty sure he's going to rip the holy shit. He got it undone.
Oh man.
Oh boy, man.
Sorry, I had to take the shot. That's all right.
Well, I
Thank you
enjoyed
for
it.
that, Fig.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So what was let's go with this. What was the either wildest, funniest, or scariest mission you ever had in the 141? What do you remember? What sticks out when you're 96 years old and you're suffering from dementia? You're going to remember one story about your C-141 days. Which one is that?
One story. That's a very good question.
Yeah.
I'll start with one. It was air refueling.
Okay.
We were deploying some F-15s to Morone, and it turned out to be an 11.7-hour flight, so we had to air refuel. I took on 80,000 pounds in one plug. I was on the plug. I was on for 15 minutes. Just that was kind of cool. Some other ones. I thought,
man, 80,000 pounds is changing the configuration of your jet, its flying characteristics a lot.
But the CG changed a lot.
Yeah, it did, and you're constantly messing with it, going in the turns as you go, as you know. But it was a blast. It was a blast. Obviously, the setup I gave, there I was. That was the most how do you say it? Eventful.
Memorable.
Eventful, memorable.
Well, should we unpack that?
Let's circle. Yeah, let's unpack that one. We've got more to do after that, but yeah,
okay.
Take us back to that moment because
flying with the devil again.
Yeah.
Well, to understand everything about that, I'd have to go back and set up the scene because this is
Go back.
Day 3, and you have to understand the plane as well as the people I was with. So the guy I was the AC. I was an instructor at the time, taking some guy out.
Aircraft commander.
Oh, sorry. Taking some guy out to get rechecked flying the line. He had been in the back office for a while, rusty and all this stuff. But the guy had a bit of a reputation. He was a good guy, nice guy, tried hard, flew okay, but it was his judgment that could often fail him. And it's like, what'd you do?
So
be out of nowhere.
Good guy, but occasionally needed adult supervision.
Yes.
Okay,
and the other, and a better attribute was he was pretty tone deaf in social skills. So I'm taking him on a crew with me. We're heading towards Kuwait, through Willow Grove, then to Rota, then to Kuwait. Okay. So that's the setup with the guy in the right seat, the co-pilot. The plane itself started out not so well. Second day leaving Willow Grove, we were pretty darn heavy. Takeoff, it's just sluggish. The numbers.
I'm sorry, I just quickly want to interrupt. So you said he's in the right seat. I'm thinking you're checking him out. So you're in the right seat and he's in the left, but he's.
Well, it doesn't matter.
He's being checked out as a. Oh, it doesn't matter who's aircraft commander.
We swap. We can swap seats as an instructor because. He can be, I can't remember on this leg. I think he was in the left seat also. Yeah, and it was his leg to fly out of Willow Grove.
Gotcha.
I apologize.
No, sorry for the interruption because, as you know, at the airline, we don't do that. The check airman can be in the right seat, but the first officer is never in the left seat.
Correct.
So, yeah, okay.
So he's doing the takeoff out of Willow Grove, and it's just not it just doesn't feel right. And we finally get to rotate. He pulls back. Nothing happens. It's like, oh, that's not good. So I'm just about to grab the yoke, and he pushed forward, pulls again. We take off sluggishly, just clear the trees, get out of there. And we're like, what the hell was that? We thought the Navy overpacked us, fudged their numbers or something. I don't know. We couldn't figure it out. So it's like a bit of an eventful takeoff out of Willow Grove. Okay. So we're going from there to Rota in Spain, west coast of Spain. Somewhere over the Atlantic, I'm back in the crew bunk, and all of a sudden I feel the plane, and I have to go back, and there's that guy I just mentioned with another co-pilot, good guy, but very young, extremely inexperienced. I'm in the nasty old crew bunk. All of a sudden, the plane starts doing this rolling and jerking. So, better go up and check. The plane is in a Dutch roll. Nothing big, just subtle.
Speaking of PIO, yeah.
yeah. Dutch roll where the plane just rolls back and forth. And no matter what you do, you just can't get it. It just constantly rolls away from you. It wasn't violent or anything. So we start troubleshooting. Engineers, we had great engineers, thankfully. And they we come to the conclusion, I think it's the yaw damper. We're at about 35,000 feet. So, okay, I'm flying. I was in the left seat at the time. Yes, I asked him to get out of the left seat. And I say, okay, you guys ready? Let's just turn off the yaw damper. And what happened next, I was not very much ready for. The plane.
Yeah. Hey, explain what the yaw damper is for people.
I apologize again. Yaw damper.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
Here's the deal. When a swept wing plane, especially at high altitude, because of the swept wing, the nose can go left and right. And because of the thin air, it's nothing really counteracting it. So the yaw damper is this automatic system that works through the rudder that gives a little bit of rudder to keep that from happening, to keep your nose tracking straight.
Yeah.
And that obviously wasn't happening. So yaw damper goes off, nose goes violently right. Boom. Like this. I hear this.
The candle back.
This is very important. And then I hear this sucking sound. I'm like, oh my gosh, because the plane's just going where it shouldn't, and this wind's just going, what are you doing? We're going around the plane here. What are you doing? So, of course, the left wing gets more perpendicular to the wind, goes up, whoa, and then I'm lagging again because, PIO thing, whoa, get it back, then it does snap again, and it keeps on doing these snaps and rolls back, and which each circuit, and I'm not doing a great job controlling it, with each circuit, the roll's getting bigger. It's like, whoa. We probably got to 30. I don't want to be too dramatic, but still, that's the worst feeling. People will ask you, when were you the most scared in flying? It's usually the van ride to the hotel, taxiing in Chicago, but I think this beats both of those. And I wasn't afraid till after the fact, but because I can't control my airplane. But luckily, John yelled, "Kill the rudder!" And Ron was in the right seat. Roy was in the right seat. Ron, excuse me. And boom, boom, kills it. Plane straightens out. So we all pull some seat cushion out of our bottoms, figure it out, and by this point, Steve, one of the engineers, he's just had it with this plane.
Foxtrot.
Exactly. He's had it with this plane. He's this plane, poor guy. And I'm just, trying to calm the crew down. We land, no big deal. Luckily, when we got to a lower altitude, we brought the rudder on via a controllability check. Everything worked good, landed okay. Hand it to maintenance. Okay, go to bed after we explain it to him. So we get up in the morning. We're supposed to go to Kuwait with a cursed plane. And maintenance says, hey, the plane's good. It's like, okay.
Could not duplicate on deck.
Bingo.
That was a wild ass guess.
Magic.
Bingo.
Magic.
So
plane's fine.
Every plane's fine. It's like, how about no? Luckily,
had another guess.
Yeah. Luckily, we were more diplomatic than that, but we convinced them we're not getting in that plane. And the maintenance troops did a great job because what they eventually did was crawl up inside the T-tail, the vertical portion of it.
Okay.
And the rigging there was a lot of play. It was sloppy on the rudder. That's what happened. That's what caused our wild ride. And they fixed that. But in the process, we're burning 3 hours. So we're burning through our duty day and all this other stuff. And it gets to be 1 a.m, all this stuff like that. So, okay, we're just about to run out, based on when we take off and when we land and when our duty day started, when we showed up. We're going to go illegal. So we hurry up, get out there. It's like, if we take off, within the next whatever minutes, we're going to be legal. Then we're taxiing. We start to taxi out. Like 5 circuit breakers pop, random circuit breakers. Steve is just beside himself. He's like, and John, the senior lead loadmaster's calming him down. He's solid as hell. And we're all just like, we put him back in. Everything's good.
Something ain't right.
Yep. Something ain't right. And we're taxiing. I'm in the right seat on this one, and
DLR diff.
Roy is in the left, and he's taxiing because he's in the left seat. He has the steering wheel and all that stuff like that. I'm still in command, and I'm going to fly the leg from the right seat. It's my leg to fly. So as we're taxiing out, Roy's adding a lot of power. And it's like, seems like you're adding a lot of power, aren't you? What's going on here? And it's like, yeah, it does seem like a lot. And talking with the engineer, and I said, well, what do you think? What do you think? So John goes, let me go out and check. He checks all the wheels, checks everything, nothing wrong. And we just come to the conclusion, I think we're just spooked. I can't say what to write maintenance up about this. Takes power to taxi,
Yeah.
So we taxi on. And let me just back up on the people. Now let's get back to the plane. Ron, we wore these headsets in the Air Force, the issue ones. They were pretty, they could double as Guantanamo interrogation aids. They were just really uncomfortable. So everybody got ear pads or stuff like that. But he went overboard. He got these big air muffs, got this ear pad up here. He got this microphone cozy, which muffled what he said, which was kind of a pain, but kind of good at times. And he also had on the end of the mic this little green light, and it would shine in front of him so he could read. But he didn't realize he turned to you, at 1 a.m. Hey, Kevin, and he's shining that light in your face. It's like, stop, along with everything else in the package that he offers.
Sure.
And you could barely hear him too. So that's where we got onto the runway with so there I was. I can continue from there if you'd like.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yes.
Yeah. We're in there.
All right. So continuing. Plane's chugging. Boom, 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 boom. It's just grabbing. We don't know what the hell it is. Then we had about 20 knots to get to flying speed. Rotate. We rotate. As soon as we break ground, rota tower, probably a mile away, says, "You're shooting sparks." Reach whatever we were. "You're shooting sparks from the starboard side." And all us Air Force guys go like, "Starboard? What's that?"
Yeah, right.
But we use a little more colorful language. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So climbing out.
Fucking right.
Exactly. We didn't realize that at the time. But John, as we break ground, he goes, "Don't raise a gear." John, the lead engineer.
Okay.
I'm running. I said, "What? Don't raise a gear." Okay, we leave the gear, climbing out. He thinks something's wrong with the gear. He runs down to the gear. And we declare an emergency. I pull up, go into traffic pattern altitude. And right about here is where Ron decides to give a lot of his input. So he turns to me, green light in my face, and I hear, just when I want to hear what everyone else is saying. And he's, sure. And that's where I started swearing like a sailor who had his private parts, caught in a zipper. I was just like, the New York came out in me, and I'm just unleashed. And I was like, "You're gonna have to get that," about his mic, about his So I gave him some feedback, some timely feedback, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
So there. So he went back to that
constructive criticism.
Yeah, there we did, because the whole setup of the crew had been giving me feedback about him, and it's like up to here by the time we're taking off. So we're climbing up. It's night. Try to put the autopilot on. Doesn't work. Yeah, of course. Yeah, doesn't work. Okay. Keep on trying.
Why would it at this point, right?
Why? Why would I want to do that? Grossed out 325,000.
Breakers that popped on the way out.
I don't know. And we got armor piercing munitions in back, max out on fuel. So I'm flying it up. Then Roy finally gets his thing together and says, "Hey, why don't you use the autopilot?" Of course, I'd offered some more constructive feedback at that point with my New York temperament and, some colorful language. So we finally get up to altitude, do all our checklists, come around. And as we're coming around, probably up overhead, we just basically stayed by the field. John comes back. And in the 141, the gear's it's attached to the fuselage, and it's covered in a pod. So you can remove a panel from the inside of the plane and stick your head in there and look at the gear trucks. So he went to the starboard side, and he stuck his head in there. He didn't get his head full in there. And he says the brakes were glowing red hot. So,
oh shit!
Of course.
And later, after the fact,
did you take off with the parking brake set?
I wouldn't put it past me. but the guys on the ground, the fire department and everybody said they could see it glowing after we got on the ground. They could see it glowing from the ground. It was that bad. So we do our emergency checklist, come around, take care of everything. The crew is great. Loadmaster had everything going. Everything was good. He had 16 souls on board. Come into land, and I'm thinking, okay, we got a lock break, land upwind of that side, all this stuff like that. We got plenty of runway, it should be no problem. Just blow one tire. We got 3 more on that side of the aircraft on that truck. Come in, land about 2,100 feet down. Poof, one tire, no big deal. Then leans a little right. 2 seconds later, poof, poof, poof. The other 3 just go. All right. So now we're going down, left, aileron, lots of brake and rudder, just trying to keep the thing straight down the runway.
Yeah. Did you have a tiller in that thing too, or was it?
We did, but
nozzle steering.
We did have a tiller, but we didn't want to use it till we didn't need it till slower speeds. The rudder pedals were good enough.
Thrust reversers? Did it?
Yes.
You have thrust reversers? Okay.
Yes, we had cans on that. The cans,
the buckets.
Oh, okay.
Buckets, yeah. So we're screeching, the reversers are screaming and it's getting louder and we're scraping and we're going down the runway. And what happens next? Of course, call it. Brakes start sagging. So, it got 160 tons of flesh. I got this in my book. Flesh, metal, munitions, and whatever. There's something else in there. Just losing its means to stop. And we're still about 120. I'm pumping the brakes, adding more rudder, keeping it straight.
Man.
Pumping the brakes. It's got to hold on. Finally, I'm in the right seat. So as you said, the tiller to steer it with the nose wheel
is only on the left.
And it's got more turn authority than the rudders, just for the audience. So we finally get to about 50 knots in us. I got nothing left, so I have to give it to Ron in the left seat, and he finally takes us the last few yards. We stop, evacuate, run off. All the souls were good, but after the fact, we find out that during that skidding stop, we ruptured a brake line and we were trailing according to there was another McCord crew there who came running over after the fact and said, you put on quite a show, because we were it ruptured a hydraulic line and we were spewing I wrote it in my logbook that night, a wall of flame 6 to 9 feet tall, 50 feet long, as we were screaming down the runway.
And afterburning 141.
There you go. I own about a mile long scrape in the Rota Air Base runway. So that's where I was.
Holy shit.
Trailing a wall of flame.
Yeah.
Right?
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well done.
Right? Yeah. Beautiful stuff. Oh, man. So you had enough of that fun and decided to go fly for the airlines.
Yeah. Do you guys catch on fire? No, not as much.
Never.
Nah. Nowhere near as often.
Good golly. So I'm guessing that airplane was stuck in rotor for
that was stuck for a bit. Yeah. And then another famous line is, so we deadhead home like 3 days later, the crew command post didn't know what to do with us. Nobody knew what to do. Safety investigated. Then finally 3 days later, we deadhead home. And I'm deadheading home in the back of the 141 with my cockpit voice recorder between my legs. And there's the safety investigator sitting right across from me because he happened to be going right same place. Good guy. He goes,
so you couldn't dump it out in the Atlantic.
As much as I wanted to, I couldn't. Yes. And he says, he leans forward in the screaming 141. He says, not a lot of people have 2 Class C mishaps in 48 hours. And I just look at the box between my legs and I say, yeah, I guess it ain't a good trip when you're deadheading home with your cockpit voice recorder.
No.
So.
Oh, that's a title right there.
Right? Yeah. Yep. Deadheading home with the CVR.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic, though. Well, Ciro, tell you got it all. We got some great titles here. I guess My Boots Need Shining, Deadheading Home with the CVR.
Well, but he's got a book, so it's usually we usually make it the title.
This is true. We'll do the book. Speaking of which, the name of the book is Flight Path: An Irreverent Tale by Kevin McDermott. Available on Amazon or wherever you buy books. Audio format?
Yes, also on Kindle. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
Oh no,
Kindle,
audio.
Amazon
Excuse me. No audio. I
no
apologize.
audio. Okay.
It's
How many
ebook.
pages in hardcover? Softcover?
265, I believe.
Okay.
That's pretty awesome, man. How long did it take you to write the book?
To get the guts of it, it took me maybe about 6 months to have a very ugly manuscript, but refined it much over the years and took some writing classes. And hey, for your veterans out there, I just, was taking some courses, and someone hooked me up with the Mighty Pen Project. I'm not sure if you ever heard of that.
Oh,
no.
Okay. That's David Robbins. And he helped me out, and the class themselves helped me become a much better writer. I'm not saying I'm any Hemingway, but it's by the University of Virginia, the Mighty Pen Project. They have these online classes and in-person classes to help you write. Part of it is therapeutic. Part of it is just to have people talk about it. But there are some real heroes in those classes. Some guys, just diving into dugouts in Afghanistan when they're getting mortared. All these people, and just incredible writers, just great guys. And I learned so much from that. So that was a real help for me.
How did you find out about the Mighty Pen Project?
I was taking some online, what do you call it? Some help, asking for some online help with some query letters. And It was with an agent, and she was very helpful. She went overboard. Can I give her a name?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, geez. I'm blanking right now. I'll give it in a second.
Phone number, address, name, all that.
Okay. And she just went overboard and helped me a lot. And she said, "You're a veteran. Hey, why don't you take this writing course?" And she was good friends with Dave Robbins. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
She was very kind.
Nice.
Sure
Okay.
Before he gets out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Catherine Sands.
Okay, referred by Catherine Sands, right?
Yeah.
And who published your book? Is it self-published or is it
self-published?
Okay.
I formed a small LLC, Random Thoughts from the Man Cave. That was a blog I had during COVID when I was crawling out of my skin. I was putting humor stuff up, and people appreciated it.
Awesome.
Nice. Fantastic. It sounds like a great read. I'm only disappointed I didn't read it before we started chatting this evening. But I'm looking forward to it and get it kind of on order. So excited to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that flight caused you to go, I think I'm going to go fly for the airlines where we don't burn as much. No, what leaned you into going to flying commercial?
It was I looked at the lifestyle of a lieutenant colonel in 05. And it's like, man, they put in a lot, and they don't see their family a lot, and they don't fly a lot. And those are...
Yeah, but at least they don't get paid very much. So,
so since adding that one, all four of those things are like, no flying, that's why I took a chance, and I went for the airlines. So yeah. And Fig, we got out when there were none hiring, and then eventually one or two started hiring.
Right.
And I got out with 9 months left on my commitment, 6 to 9 months. I can't remember exactly. It's in the book. So at the time, the Air Force was grounding it if you got out. So I was grounded.
Oh, yeah.
Putting my applications in.
I had many first officers with whom I flew that I was stunned and shocked to hear that if you said, "I'm getting out in a year," that's it. You're done. No flying for you.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. And they finally turned it around when about 4 months into this, when they were turning back missions for lack of pilots. And they pushed the discretion down to the wing commander. If you want your guys to fly, let them fly. And they immediately said, do it. I got requalled, and I was out on my first mission when my current airline called and said, "Would you like an interview?" I was like, "Yeah." And they said, "Are you current and qualified?" I said, "Yes, I am."
I happen to be.
Talk about timing. I was just very lucky.
That's fantastic. Okay. Yeah. Because I was horrified to hear that they were going, well, Let's throw away all this money that we put into training you and not let you fly because you have the temerity to decide to leave after your contractually agreed to time is up. How dare you? It's like, but where do we find such men, right? To leave us. So, well, we always said, what do you call a guy that's afraid to get out of the Marine Corps?
What?
Major.
There you go. Oh, that's hurtful.
Yeah, right. See, I'm sure the same thing was true in the Air Force.
Yes,
those guys start getting up into those leadership positions, and it's like, oh man, just a little spine there, and you'll be fine. Promise.
Yeah, I mean, I have lots of friends who made it work, and they're true heroes, but it wasn't for me. Wasn't for me.
Yeah, yeah. We did as well, and we've had several of them on the show, in fact. And I think, I think of guys like Bart, who was a POW in Gulf War I briefly.
Ooh.
And when I say briefly, you know what? It was a fucking eternity, is what it was. It was 6 weeks, but it was an eternity.
Holy
what
geez.
that man endured is amazing, and wound up retiring. I believe as a major general, might have been lieutenant general, but regardless, one of the guys that you see that goes that far, and you're like, nice to see someone who has a head on his shoulders and an understanding of what leadership really is to get that far and to be able to help other people. So, and I let me mention briefly as an aside, I understand Bart is having some health issues, so please pray for him. He's a fine Marine, a great American, and God bless you, Bart. We hope you're mending well. So, yeah. So, all right. So you get the interview at your current airline. Clearly you got hired. What was that transition like?
Oh, it's funny. And I mentioned this to the guys who are retirees coming to my airline now. It's like, you finish your first ID, your first trip, and then, you fill out the paperwork. Then you're like, okay, well, now what? And everybody says, go home, relax. It's like, that's it.
Right.
It's just, you can't spool down. It's like, just go home. Relax. You don't have anything else to do. You sure? Sure. Nobody wants to crush me, type thing. So
right.
It was a great transition. And I've always stayed senior so that I can be there for my sons, and plus stagnation and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't upgrade for a while. But it worked out for me.
Awesome. I did a little snooping on you when I got your name. Just curious to see if you were at the same airline. And sure enough, and I looked at your qual page, and I'm like, all right, got a lot of time, as an FO, real senior. I saw a lot of Airbus time.
Yes, 15 years. I mean, what happened
incredible.
was, DC, well, the base, whatever we want to say there, it didn't have any narrow bodies. So I had nowhere to go.
East Coast,
Yeah. So I could have done international, but that just kicked my butt. I was, getting older, or I could have commuted. So I just said, okay, I'll stay in the right seat and do the Airbus. Made it work. I worked side hustles. I had a 10-unit property. I did a contracting work. So just a small handyman business and stuff like that. Because I had college kids to put through college. So but made it work.
Well, we had a guest on a while back whom you might have flown with because he was an Airbus captain for a long time in DC. Matt Bell, Taco. Ring a bell?
That sounds. Say that again.
Ring a bell. Matt Bell, call sign Taco. He was a Navy F-14 driver.
No, I would have remembered F-14 driver.
Okay.
Yeah, not many of them.
I just had to throw it out there.
Yeah.
But the other point you made there was funny. We had an episode 8, Big Beaver up and ready, was Spaz. Spaz got on at my airline, and he's like, "This is like being on vacation every month." Because you didn't have to. You were either working a trip or you were home. You didn't have reports to fill out, meetings to go to. You didn't have to show up at 7 a.m. and be there till 1600. And
I know.
Yeah.
I know you might be able to relate to this. Chill-Rob, but I don't even remember. It was so traumatic. But my first OE trip was a 737-200 guy. My first OE trip, and I was with the Czech airman who was just not that personable. And instead of taking me under his arm and saying, all right, this is how we're going to do it. When we get to the hotel, you're going to change clothes. You're going to meet me here. And he's like, oh, see you tomorrow. And, I'm kind of like, so what do I do? So you can only check your uniform so many times to make sure it's right for the next day. Irish pennants are off of it, make sure everything's just right. Because military guy, I don't know what the hell we're supposed to do. You're supposed to stay in the room. Can you, what do you do? Is there a curfew? Do I got to stay by the phone in case, something changes? I didn't know all these things.
Put your uniform on, go drinking. Oh, no, that was Northwest. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I can say that because they're out of business.
Anyway,
man.
I totally sympathize with the new guys, especially guys coming straight out of the military, because they and I get to do that. I get to take them on OE, and I get to be that guy. And like, okay, you're going to change your clothes. You're going to meet me here in 10 minutes, and we're gonna go out. And we're gonna have a beer. We're gonna have a dinner. And we're gonna talk about what you do on layover.
Yeah, there was a time where some guys took it so that they could manipulate their schedule. And it's like my guy said, I just do this so I can, because I'm a commuter. And it's like, okay, that's nice. And he wasn't that wasn't that helpful either. And of course, the first night I got some type of stomach bug. And I wake up the next morning, show up like this, and Mr. Happy's there. So of course I'm the military, so I'm like, I gotta show up,
Yeah. Oh man.
Hacker.
Right.
I'm gonna hack this. I got it. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I bet it took me 20 of my 30 years to realize that I didn't have to hack it. You would just have that mentality, and most pilots are that way, military or not. We're type A, accomplish the mission type people. And that can actually be dangerous. That could be detrimental.
Yeah, I can.
So,
you're right.
Yeah.
100%.
So, holy shit. All right. Jeez, I don't know. So you said your book's 260 pages, Flight Path and Irreverent Aviation Tale. And we chatted a little bit pre-show. You said you did it in about 6 months, but not really for the pre-show. Really, how long did it take you?
Well, I started in 2002. It was post 9/11 therapy, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
And it just was great. It was good therapy because it bringing back good memories, good dudes. Oh, that guy's good, all this stuff. And like I said, I got an ugly manuscript in 6 months, and I wasn't a writer. We're engineers, so my writing skills were poor, but they gradually evolved.
Good tech skills.
Yeah. I tried to pitch it a couple of times. It didn't work. And then life, family, career got in the way. And I put it away until I probably did the final push over a year, finally honing it down, actually being a grown up and talking to an editor and stuff like that. That really helped. And, just a fresh set of eyes. You just don't realize it. Your friends aren't going to tell you. They're not being jerks. They're not going to tell you the honest truth, or they may not have the skills to tell you what honestly needs to be done. So you have to go to a professional who's going to tell you like it is. And I've put the final push on it within the last year and put it out. And now I'm happy I did it.
Man. I'm glad you did that.
Thanks.
Yeah,
was it therapeutic?
It was. And the reason I did it, the reason I did the final push is because I think it's a good story. And it's if I may, it's equal parts memoir, adventure, and humor. Flight Path is a story about an underdog chasing an extraordinary dream. And that's a good story. People will appreciate that.
Everybody
and
likes
I think it's going to bring, and it's got a lot of laughs in it. And the early reviews are like, I was laughing my face off. And that's important. I think, one of my taglines is the one who dies with the most laugh wrinkles wins. Because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, man. And I just thought this would bring joy to some people. So, and I finished. Like you said, type A, you got to finish it. I can't not finish this.
Awesome.
That's a long title, but I think we're going to do that. Flight Path, the one who dies with the most laugh wrinkles wins.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Writing that down now. And we may be half a day late on this one tomorrow, but usually I come out at 4 a.m. If we're a little late, folks, my apologies, but hey, we're just glad to be getting shows out at this point.
I'm personally just happy to be here.
Yeah, right. It's been a hell of a summer. Fig's happy to be here. I'm happy to be back here.
We're happy. We're all happy that Fig's here.
Yeah, big time. Big time. That was.
And by the way, I
crazy
picked up
stuff.
a new truck. I picked up a new truck today. It's the exact same truck that saved my life. It's just a different color. Yeah.
Right on. Well, black is pretty until you get it out of the car wash, and then you have to wash it again.
That's right.
But
I opted for a different color that wouldn't show dirt so much.
There you go. Right on. Yeah. I never put them on the website, but they basically turned Fig's truck into an accordion there. That was brutal.
Yeah. Big truck too, not a small truck. It was a big truck.
Try to turn Fig into an accordion.
Yeah.
So, holy fecal matter. All right. Jeez. Any other stories before we land the airplane? Anything else to share? I think we're going to do we haven't done one in a while. I think we're going to do an extra this week as well. So,
hey, okay. We'll save an extra story then.
Yeah.
Most of my stories are embarrassing layover stories. I'm sure we all have a few.
Fig doesn't have any of those.
We love those kind of stories. Rob. We love those kind of stories.
Oh gosh.
Right?
I have plenty of flying stories, I'm sure, but I can't recall them right now. But none of them compare to the sheer embarrassment that you can wreak on yourself in a hotel room.
Right. Oh man. Yeah.
There's nothing more humbling when you have to call the crew desk and ask them what hotel you're staying at, because the key you have is ambiguous. Does it say at all the streets and all the buildings start looking the same at 2 a.m?
And that was probably before the app, before you can just do that stuff, right?
Oh, it was before smartphones. It was I had the flip phone Mumbler 2000 in the year 1999 or 2000, and literally it's like, hey, could you tell me what hotel I'm staying in? What city are you in? Well, I don't know that either.
I'm not entirely sure. I think I'm supposed to be in Frankfurt, but we might be staying in Wiesbaden. Those are horrible. Yeah.
Do you know the name? What ID are you flying? I don't know that either. Well, what is your name? I can tell you that.
I think it's Fig. Fig who? Oh yeah. I mean, there's humor in truth, right? I mean, things are funny because they're true. And I used to always joke that the hardest part of an airline pilot's job is remembering what room you're staying in on any given night. When you get back to the hotel and you're going, crap. You have to go to the front desk. Go, yeah, this is my name. What? Oh, yeah, 405 was last night. Yeah, 322. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
James T. Kirk. Thanks, Dizzy. Yeah. Or I know you guys have never had this where you wake up in the morning and you're like, I have no idea where I'm at. What I'm obviously not home. I don't know where I'm at. I don't even know what city I'm in at the moment.
I don't know what city I'm in. I don't know if I'm late for did I just get here? Am I supposed to be at work? Am I late for work?
Right.
Yeah.
We're waking up.
And that got worse to an international.
Oh gosh. Waking up in the pitch dark and you have no reference and you're feeling along the wall trying to find a door that might be a bathroom, doing a little braille.
Yeah.
And note, and from the hard way, learning things the hard way, never ever leave the bathroom door half open.
Correct.
In a hotel room. It's a good way to knock yourself silly in the middle of the night when you're trying to find the doorway to go in.
Yep.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh,
yes,
man.
sir. These are solid
Good
words
time.
of wisdom.
And everybody who's done the job knows we're telling the truth.
Oh, don't you know it?
And those of you that think we're bullshitting, we're not. I mean, this happened. So, oh man. Oh goodness. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think we should probably land the plane then and get to the extra for those of all of you who are so kind and lost every ounce of common financial sense and crack your wallets and give us money to keep this show coming to you. We're going to get that extra out to you soon, like this week, I hope. I promise. I'll make it happen this weekend. So, Chill-Rob, thank you for your service. Thank you for my freedom.
Ditto.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, appreciate it.
The same.
Fig, we got one or two other thank yous we probably ought to hit before we completely set the parking brake.
Yeah, we need to thank Dave Hamilton.
Yeah, man.
Backbeat Media. Backbeat Media, is it backbeatmedia.com?
It is. Yep. Handles our advertising, handles the knowledge to get this show actually on the air.
He got us off the ground.
He did. We didn't have a failure to launch, but because of Dave Hamilton. So briefly mention it. So there was US/donate. That'll take you to the page where you can go to Patreon, Donor Box, or Venmo and give us your hard-earned money. Just, give till it hurts.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously. We joke about it. It hurts us to say thank you because it's inadequate.
It is. It's humbling. We question your financial judgment, everybody that donates, but we so much appreciate it.
And if your wife finds out, you're screwed.
You could be totally screwed.
Right? Yeah. So, Fig, we've got a merch store, SetOurWoes.us/merch, where you can get koozies and cups and jackets and hoodies. It's coming up on the fall season. Get a hat. Word is you were admiring yourself in a bikini in the mirror when you hit that truck. I don't know.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, but I can tell you, when they had me in the emergency room and they started cutting clothes off, I said, whoa, be careful. I'm wearing a string bikini and I don't want you to cut that. Just untie it. And the room got real quiet. And then I said, I'll do it. And then I untied it and then they put a gown on me. So it was over with quickly. But I got my bikini bottoms back.
Right on. Fantastic.
Allegedly.
Right. Hey, can you? Yeah. You know what? If you can't crack your wallet and throw money at us, can you throw some stars at us, please? So there it was, .us/rate. Anywhere you can give an Apple podcast rating, give us 5 stars, please, and write a great rating. And we will read that on the air. And then, and that's one of the things I was looking for, and I forgot. And we'll play it to next week. Stretch sent in a "So There I Was" recorded story for us, so we'll get that on the line. BDSAviationPhotography.com. I mean, that dude, badass. I think he may still be here. He was here earlier.
I saw him.
God bless you, badass. Thank you for letting us use your amazing pictures. They're incredible. The photography that this man puts out.
It's artwork. It really is.
It is. It is. I swear to God, it's like an eagle eye. I mean, it's so much clearer and better than.
He's got a wonderful eye, and he is just makes beautiful photography. If you like planes, if you're into planes, if you're not into planes,
it's still beautiful photography, right? And he was kind enough to come say hello and spend some time with us when we were back in June. We were at Cherry Point, and he brought his mother along. It was a pleasure to meet. What do we call it? The badass
mother
queen? What do we call
Mom
it?
Badass.
Mama Badass.
Mama Badass.
It was wonderful to meet you. Yeah. So, wonderful people. Salt of the earth. Humbling to know you, and a privilege to be the recipient of your generosity. So thank you. I don't know. Fig, I don't hear so good anymore, but I feel like I'm hearing something in the background. Right?
Well, you are. But before I tell you what you're hearing, I'm just going to throw this out here. I got an email from one of our listeners, and he's got a couple of kids that listen, and his daughter in particular been very concerned with my well-being. And I want some recommendations on what to send his kids from the merch store. But I want to say to the Tozer kids, God bless you. Right. The Tozer, Tozer. I don't know how would you pronounce that? Tozer.
Tozer, yeah.
Tozer. Yeah. Anyway, we'll figure it out, and it's coming your way. What you're hearing in the background is nothing other than the F-16 pilots that make the Air Force sound good. The Dos Gringos.
Count them.
And if you're having a bad day, you should listen to one of their songs, because there ain't a bad one of them, and they're all funny.
Right. Those guys are amazing. Great Americans, great guests, great pilots. Thank you to them. And thank you to all of you. This show is still going on. I think I'm going to double check here right now. We're in the neighborhood of 200. And yep, this is show 225.
Wow.
All right. Who'd have thunk? Cool. Who'd have thunk 4 years ago we'd still be doing this?
I know.
This is fantastic. It's so much fun. Thank you, Chill-Rob, for being with us and doing 225 with us. We're just blessed. We are blessed to get to keep doing this. So
yeah, thanks for sharing your stories, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Any advice for folks until next week, Fig?
Well, don't sit on the ejection seat handle. You may need that at some point.
Well, there I was, crossing the pond, and you could see that I wasn't exactly fond of all the shit I was wearing on that day. Now an F-16 is cramped enough, but it's even worse with all that stuff supposed to save your life. But we knew there was no way. 'Cause when you're going down the North Atlantic, man, it's over.
Hold on. You're going down in the North Atlantic, it's what?
He said it's over.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
And we're out. Boom.